I took out the notebook during class. And then I started the episode by saying, hello you, and welcome to some kind of Fox content, and welcome to some kind of spooky content even, because we are getting close to the end here of Spooky Month, and we still have some games that we started but didn't finish. One of them is this some game, Tiny Bunny, which is a horror visual novel. Visual novel, if I could talk. And I do seek to end it in this episode. I don't know how much we have left. It shouldn't be too much, but it may run a little longer, this one, because, as I said, I do seek to end this one in this episode. Maybe, I don't know. All I know is, hello you, and welcome to Tiny Bunny. Skim through it, reading into other people's preferences. I was quite surprised to discover Rumka's jerky handwriting inside. His letter bulged out of the cells as if embarrassed by their sharpness. Fearsome Rumka found time for something so silly? I chuckled into my fist after I found out that Rumka's favorite cartoon is not even Darkwing Duck, but DuckTales. Somewhere in the distance, a teacher was reciting pieces of Andrew's Snapper. I paid them no mind. Paulina's page was decorated with flower drawings and clippings from the Cool Girls magazine. Her favorite musician is Schubert. Her best friend is her grandpa. Her hobby is not violin, like I expected, but a much more mysterious listening. Can such a mundane process really be someone's hobby? I looked at Paulina over the heads of other students. She was focused on taking notes. I flipped the pages until I found a blank one and armed myself with a pen. Anton Petrov, Class 6B. I took a long time to decide one of my favorite musicians until a trendy pop band, Carman, came to mind with the cool dancers in their music videos. Favorite holiday? This one's easy. It's New Year's. Oh, you should have said Halloween. Keep it on theme here. My hobby is drawing. My dream? Going to Disneyland, I guess. My hero? My hand moved on its own, writing da. I stopped on those two letters. What if those who read this after me will find my answers laughable and stupid? I shouldn't mind. You should be who you are. After thinking for a bit, I decided that not everything should be disclosed on paper. Oh, well, okay. That's how Da turned into Spider-Man. The spelling was wrong, but who cares? My biggest fear. Your biggest fear, huh? I immediately wrote, losing a person who is dear to me. Your phone number? Oh. No secret here, 30395. Your favorite cartoon? Transformers. Your best friend. I hesitated, gnawing on the pen's cap. Your best friend. I read the question out loud. It was easy, but at the same time, very important. The answer to that was my sister's name, so I carefully wrote it into the squares. Aw, that's sweet. Olya. Is Olya gonna be gone when we're getting back? Because he had the fear of losing someone close to him and then Olya is his best friend? Olya. I repeated my sister's name while sneaking out of the school. There was a cute, freshly drawn dragon in my notebook that I made to please my beloved sister. In this land of darkness and deceit, Her support was the only thing that inspired me to keep drawing and stopped me from losing hope in humanity. Refreshing frosty air made my cheeks turn beet red. It was bright outside, and the sun looked like a whole egg yolk. The road looked as if it was silvered. The snow sparkled under the sunlight. I smiled, squinting from the blinding whiteness. Who cares if I don't have any true friends anymore? I have something more important, someone who needs my help, who will never betray or hurt me. Family is the most important thing ever. That's what Dad always told me.
Лыс хорош рыбу тянуть.
Hey, what's up with that stupid grin, huh? My numb lips immediately shrank. Biasha was shuffling his feet in the middle of the yard with his boots restless on the ice.
Я не тяну.
It's not a grin. I tried to go around him to no avail. Lady Fortune waved me goodbye, disappearing in the early twilight.
Торопишься на?
Ha, in a hurry, eh?
Немного. Меня папа ждет.
A little bit. Dad is waiting for me.
Я ему тиркну на пейджер, что ты не придешь на.
I'll shoot him a pager message that you're not coming, eh? My eyes flinched unwittingly. My skin dampened.
Идем на, к тебе дельце есть.
Ha, let's go, eh? We have a small business to discuss. I felt chills run all over my body. I didn't like the sound of that small business. Those words, accompanied by spitting, normally hid very dark deeds underneath them. Strangers that used to call our old apartment used to say, "Get your old man, we have a small business to discuss." Biasha turned around. He looked like an astronaut in his tight hood. If I were to imagine him as a sound, he'd be a deafening whistle, a signal given by someone who stands watch. To my demise, there was nobody at the backyard. Apart from the grim-faced Romka. He stood there, his feet wide apart, with his right hand hidden behind his back. Romka's dry lips were tightly pursed. He kept shooting glances at me as he looked around.
Привел на.
Ah, there he is, eh?
Вижу.
I can see that.
Ну, здорово,
Well.
Антоша.
Hello there, Antosha.
Что тебе нужно?
What do you want? He slowly took out a thin, carnivorously shiny blade from behind his back. A knife, the steel butterfly of death that flies towards the victim's heartbeat. I stepped back instinctively and rammed my back into Biasha. Romka's minion pushed me back.
А мы с Бешей хотели узнать,
We wanted to know,
ты не держишь на нас обиду?
do you have any hard feelings for me, Biasha? Romka started picking on his yellow nail, looking at me with an evil smirk on his face.
Ну, там, в лесу. Мы
Well,
были немного
There
грубы
in
с
the
тобой.
forest, we kind of roughed you up.
Сам понимаешь, такое у нас воспитание на.
It's just our poor upbringing, you know, huh? My mom never loved me.
Да, до вас, городских, далеко.
Yeah, not as cultured as you, city folk.
Вот порой нас и заносит.
So we get feisty sometimes. I nodded, my eyes glued to the knife. The blade glowed under the setting sun, and Romka's eyes had the same evil glow. He stepped towards me. His knife traveled inches away from my coat. One movement, and steel would cut into the cloth, and if he pushed deeper,
Нам одна птичка напела. Ты опять возле Полины отирался?
a little bird told us that you were snooping around Polina again. I was so scared that it took me a while to remember who Polina was. My brain was malfunctioning, my knees were shaking. Suddenly, our class rep slowly walked up to Romka from behind.
Смотри, у мальчики, вы нашли общий язык.
Ah, I see you boys are getting along quite well.
За мной должок, Катька.
I owe you one, Katya.
Ой, не благодари, Ромочка. Я
Oh, no
всегда
need to thank me,
настоящей
Romachka.
любви.
I'm always fighting for true love.
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes. I'll kill you, I swear.
Так, я не слышу. Ты к Полине подходил или нет?
I can't hear you. Were you near Polina or not?
Мы так болтали.
Well, we didn't hang out or anything.
Болтать будешь кишками, когда я тебе брюхо вскрою.
The only thing hanging out here will be your guts when I cut open your stomach. The blade slid across my sleeve with its dull side and reached my collar. The wind made my face cold, but a bead of sweat still trickled from my temple. A switch flipped in my head. It all made sense now. I remembered Romka constantly sneaking glances at Polina. I remembered his scrawly handwriting in the questionnaire. Why didn't I study it more in depth?
Еще раз замечу рядом с Полинкой, пеняй на себя. Шишкой не отделаешься.
I see you near Polina even once and you won't get away with a single bump.
Усек?
Got it?
Да.
Yes.
Пшел вон!
Now scram! I was probably so hypnotized by the knife that Romka had to repeat his threat.
Вон!
Scram! I thought about the cold, sharp blade when retreating from the yard. I was asking myself whether I had enough courage to break the promise I made to these bastards. The aftertaste of horrible water I drank down my meds with lingered in my mouth. My thoughts were focused on Polina, but Romka's threat was also on my mind.
Да. Ага. Да.
I wandered around the house feeling intoxicated and nodded to everything my sister said without trying to discern her words. Olya was talking non-stop, at times lifting up her arms and laughing, only to then suddenly go quiet and give me Mom's signature gnarly look.
А?
I was yanked out of the prison of my own mind, where seething thoughts peeked at my brain like harpies, stopping me from coming back to reality. I stared back. Olya looked like a mini version of our mom right now. Well, to be precise, she looked like the person Mom turned into when we moved here, with her intimidating posture and her eyebrows directed towards the ceiling.
Ты меня не слушал?
Ah, you weren't listening to me, were you? She tried spitting out those words at me, copying facial expressions of the person she spent almost all of her free time with. For a moment, I felt like the light Olya exuded all these years waned and wavered in the wind of prolonged changes. Very soon, my beautiful princess will turn into the dragon that was once guarding her prison tower. That thought was much scarier to me than any other horror sneaking up to me from the future.
Оля, прости.
I'm sorry, Olya.
Ты же не сердишься, правда? Я просто задумалась.
I didn't want to make you mad. I just got lost in thought. I looked around the room, my gaze jumping from one object to another, like a hungry beast trying to find anything that could distract Olya.
А давай в приставку поиграем.
Let's play the console. Olya pouted, but there was a spark of interest in her small emerald eyes. The Snow Queen's ice shard inside them started tabbing. The wing.
А как же второй джойстик? Не работает же.
Oh, and what about the second controller? It's not working.
А папе починить
And Dad
некогда.
has no time to fix it.
Можем из пистолета пострелять.
We can play with the light gun.
В ковбоев или уток. Хочешь?
What do you want to play? Cowboys? Ducks?
Ты лучше меня играешь.
Oh, but you're better than me at both.
Да ладно тебе.
Oh, come on.
Пойди целый день
You must have been
тренировалась, пока
practicing
меня
the whole
дома не
time
было.
I was away from home. Olya burst out laughing. Her heart was warm once again.
А как ты догадался?
How did you know?
Я сейчас знаешь, какая меткая. Считай, уже проиграл.
But I'm a good shooter now. You've already lost.
Не на того напала. Включай скорее.
You picked the wrong fight here. Come on, turn it on. Little Olya jumped towards the TV set and after flicking the power switch, started blindly feeling around the backside of the photon, trying to plug the console's cable into the antenna input. Bits of TV shows started flashing on the CRT screen when I armed myself with the remote to look for the channel with the sought-after Dendy signal.
Что дома интересного происходило?
Did anything interesting happen at home? It was a mundane question for me. I didn't put any actual meaning behind it. But Olya's expression suddenly changed. She lost all of the childless nonchalantness she worked so hard to acquire before.
Оль, что-то случилось?
What happened, Olya? My sister managed to put the cable in its place and started brushing off her dust-covered hand. She was clearly looking for the courage to continue the conversation.
Мама,
Mom, she... Olya went silent, and for a moment I thought I saw tears welling up in her eyes.
у нее опять был этот страшный...
She had this scary thing happen to her again. My sister looked at me with wet eyes.
Приступ.
She had a fit, huh? This had happened before, but it was a rare occasion. Now that we've moved to this godforsaken place, Mom's fits rose in frequencies.
Папа принес большую
Dad
рыбу.
brought home a big fish.
Она в
It was
газету
wrapped in a
была
newspaper and had a
завернута.
foul smell.
Бля.
Blah.
Мама опять начала злиться.
Mom got angry again and then she took a knife. Olya squirmed, looking fearfully out the window.
Они начали громко
They
ругаться.
started screaming at each other. I froze, imagining my little sister so small and unnoticeable, standing in the kitchen doorway. She wasn't even trying to hide. Our parents just paid her no mind at all.
Потом мама ударила.
And then Mom struck it.
Вот так.
Like this. Olya slightly moved her fist downward, imitating a strike.
Рыбу.
She hit the fish.
Она была живая тоже. Ей было больно.
It was still alive, Tasha. It must have been in pain. And Mom... It was easy to imagine what happened next. The writhing fish with a blade between its fins squirted some foul-smelling musk into Mom's face. Whenever death got this close to my mom, be it when a person was hit by a bus in front of us and their blood was smeared all over the windshield, or when Grandma chopped off a chicken's head, Mom would always get into a weird, dreadful fit. Her eyes would roll over. She would fall on her face like a freshly cut tree and started writhing just like that agonizing fish, turning over chairs and blurting out bits of scary sentences.
А папа, он ей помог?
And what about Dad? Did he help her? Olya shuddered as if just remembering it pained her.
Да. Но вначале
Yes, but at first...
он засмеялся тоже.
He started laughing, Tasha. Okay, blinking lights over, you can look back now.
Так страшно. Когда увидел, что маме плохо.
He let out an evil laugh when he saw that Mom was in trouble,
А потом вдруг заплакал.
but then he cried. Olya's story made me raise an eyebrow. It seemed like the forest oozing madness had not only completely consumed our mom, but also infected our strong and courageous dad. I quickly stepped towards Olya and locked her in a tight embrace. She dug her face into my chest and I could feel my shirt becoming wet.
Зачем они так издеваются?
Why are they
друг
bullying
над другом
each other,
тоже?
Tasha?
Они сумасшедшие.
Are they crazy? I stuttered, unable to justify the actions of our parents. I ran out of words, and all I could do was hug Olya even tighter. Olya screamed and hid behind me. Turn it off, quick! No matter how many times she saw this intro, she would always react the same, just like when she saw that owl. I mean, I also got goosebumps every time this ghastly face appeared on the screen, so I immediately complied with my sister's request. Finally, the game selection screen showed up for the cartridge that was bundled with the console. Too bad most of the names here were just different levels of the same game. I picked up the grey rectangular controller and started looking around the pixel letters to find the familiar English word for duck. Background music from the menu soothed Olya's mind, and she asked in a calm voice,
А как твои дела в школе?
how are things at school?
Ничего хорошего.
Nothing good.
Школа новая.
The school is new,
остается мне
but my
по-прежнему.
treatment is the same.
Словно и не переезжали никуда. Задолбал.
As if we never moved. I'm so tired of this. Before despair could lead me down its depressing road towards the clutches of oppressive thoughts, something evil writhed deep inside my skull, awakening wild and pleasant memories.
Хотя, знаешь, кое-что хорошее все же случилось.
Actually, something good did happen. Olya watched with hope-filled eyes as a wicked smile spread on my face, faintly resembling the wound from a box cutter knife.
Еще один мальчик пропал.
Another boy went missing.
Тоша, разве это хорошо?
Oh, Tasha, do you think that's good? Why do you say that? My sister's voice trembled when she looked into my eyes through the thick lenses.
Знаешь, а может тот пропавший Вова сам виноват,
You know,
что с ним
that
это
other
случилось?
missing boy, Vova, maybe what happened to him was all his fault.
Может, он совершил нечто настолько плохое,
Maybe
что
he
не
did something so
заслуживал жить.
bad that he no longer deserved to live.
Не будь таким жестоким, пожалуйста!
Don't be so cruel, please. Olya pressed her knees into her chin and hugged them with her hands, trying to take up less space. I clicked the wrong button. As if she wanted to shrink or even disappear altogether. It was the only reasonable thing for us to do. Go missing among all the other broken toys. And never encounter evil parents or mad classmates. We were the only ones left for each other. The only ones who can protect, listen, and sympathize. Which means she's bound to listen to what I think about them all. These beasts, pretending to be children, that are so eager to bully the weak. It was my turn to speak.
Думаю, они не последние.
I think they won't be the last. My breathing quickens, my fingers start banging on the wooden floor.
Такие люди, как они, недостойны жить, ходить с нами в одну
People
школу,
like them are not worthy of living, going to the same school with us,
смотреть на твой
or
свет.
looking at your light. My thoughts got tangled. They slipped away along with my calmness.
Тошенька, хватит! Ты меня
Tasha, stop it. You're scaring me.
Не бойся, я смогу
Don't be
тебя
scared.
защитить.
I can protect you. Then I finally noticed that Olya was looking at me like I was a stranger.
Кто ты?
Who are you? The rage that welled up inside me subsided. It hid under the guise of my cowardliness, leaving me alone with the growing feeling of guilt for scaring my sister.
Оленька, прости, я не хотел.
Olya, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Видимо, я схожу с ума в этой школе.
I guess I'm just going crazy in that school. She rushed to embrace me, barely holding back her tears.
Все хорошо, Тоша. Только, пожалуйста, пожалуйста, никогда так больше не
It's okay, Tasha. Just please never say anything like this
Клянусь
again.
маминым сердцем.
I swear on Mom's heart. Olya flashed me a bitter smile.
А сам сказал, что так говорить нехорошо.
And you told me I shouldn't say that.
Ты права. Давай лучше играть.
You're right. Let's start playing already.
Только чур я первая.
I go first. Player 2, get ready. Okay. Do I actually have to? Yes, I do. How do I shoot? I'm gonna beat you all, yeah. Got 2. Oh, did you see that, Olya? Perfect. 5,000 points.
Считай, это я тебе поддалась.
Yeah, eat shit, Olya. I was going easy on you here. I should let her win this one. Let's let her win. Oops. Oops, I didn't get that. Oh, can I shoot the seagull? Okay, I got one. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that one. I'm just so good, I can't stop it.
Это ты виноват, что я промазала.
Wait, we still won? Whoops. Ah, boo, it's your fault I missed. Okay, this one we're actually gonna lose. Okay. Let's not. Even though it's tempting. Oh, it's because it pluses the points. Because I was like, I didn't hit that many birds. But it's because I got the points from the last round. So we'll just let her win this one. I'll make her happy. There we go.
Пиф-паф, ой-ой-ой, умирает зайчик мой.
Bang, bang, and they're dead. You lost, Tasha. Yeah, because I let you win.
Антон?
My mom only managed to get through to me on her 3rd attempt.
Антон, тебя к телефону.
And there's a call for you. God damn it.
Девушка какая-то.
It's a girl. Oh, hello. I sobered up in an instant and rushed to the hallway.
Не споткнись, смотри.
What's your step here? I grabbed the phone, pressed it into my chest, looking at my mom. She shrugged and went into the room, gathering the toys thrown around by Olya as she went.
Алло?
Hello?
У твоей мамы такой молодой голос.
Oh, your mom has such a young voice.
А, ну да.
Well,
Она сама
yeah, I
молодая.
mean, she is young.
Не мешаю?
Are you busy right now?
Нет, что ты.
No, of course not. If only she knew how costly this conversation could be for me, what risk I took on just answering this call. There were a pen and a shabby notepad lying on the nightstand. I picked them up and started moving the tip of the pen across the paper, producing chaotic doodles that always ended up turning into hearts. Aww.
Я тут подумала, мне надо тебе сказать кое-что.
I've been thinking, I need to tell you something. I froze. It can't be. Does she like me?
В последнее время у тебя такой потерянный вид,
You've been looking so lost lately.
а сегодня в школе на тебе буквально лица не было.
And when I saw you at school today, you were pale like a ghost. I couldn't find words. My heart was a flutter in anticipation.
Я хочу сказать,
I wanted to say
я на твоей стороне.
that I'm on your side. A smile was spreading on my face in anticipation for Polina's next words.
И мне тебя очень жаль.
And I feel sorry for you.
Такие хорошие ребята ребята, как ты, заслуживают большего.
Good guys like you deserve better.
Мне очень хочется верить, что однажды ты найдешь в себе силы дать отпор, и другие перестанут тебя задирать.
I want to believe that you'll find the strength to fight back at some point and the others will stop picking on you. The pen fell out of my weak fingers. Is that all she's going to say?
Может, даже девушку найдешь.
Maybe you'll even find a girlfriend. She sounded as if she was unsure of her own words.
Короче, знай, ты славный парень.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that you're a nice guy. It was a total failure. Compassion instead of an invitation to hang out.
Ты тут?
You there? Before I could reply, Olya descended the stairs. She was holding some book in a pink cover, encyclopedia of a young lady.
Ты долго еще?
Will you take long? I covered the handset with my hand.
Я разговариваю.
I'm in the middle of a conversation.
Что случилось?
What happened?
Почитай мне, пожалуйста.
Read me a bedtime story, please.
Мама уснула.
Mom fell asleep.
Иди к себе, я сейчас.
Go to your room, I'll be there in a minute.
Только быстрее, ладно?
Just be quick, okay?
Ладно.
Fine. My last reply sounded excessively annoyed. I sighed, watching my sister running up the stairs.
Алло, Полина?
Hello, Polina.
Прости, мне надо бежать.
Sorry, I need to run.
Представляешь, кое-кто втюрился в меня и теперь отирается у моих окон, требуя сходить с ним на свидание.
Can you imagine? There's someone in love with me and he snoops about under my windows demanding to go on a date with him.
Пойду прогоню его, пока дедушка не проснулся.
I'll go chase him away before Grandpa wakes up.
Или, может, дать ему шанс?
Or maybe I should give him a chance? I bit my lower lip in jealousy.
Если интересно, расскажу тебе завтра.
I'll tell you tomorrow if you want.
Мы в конце концов
We're
друзья.
friends after all. Friends. At least she didn't say we were besties.
Да, конечно.
Yeah, sure.
Добрый.
Good. The buzzer hammered at my brain. Dirty slut, an angry voice spoke through the teeth in my brain. Like a restless zombie devoid of a conscience, I dragged my feet up the staircase. I wish I could tell Dad. Ask for his manly advice. But he doesn't show up home until late at night because of his new job. My parents don't have the time for me, to put it lightly.
Ну, где твоя книжка?
Well, where's your book? I stuttered. The kids' room was empty.
Оль?
Olya? She probably snuck into my room. I started walking down the corridor. The room was infested with shadows. The blinds were wavering like there was someone hiding behind them. I smiled, sneaked towards the window, and threw open the curtain.
Попалась!
Gotcha! There was nobody behind the cloth. The window was a TV screen showing wintry scenery. The lamppost, the field, and a couple of walking figures in the middle of it. Alicia and Olya. I gasped and pressed my fist into my mouth. Or to my mouth, not into my mouth. That would be impressive, but just to my mouth, sinking my teeth into it. Alicia was leading Olya into the thicket. I needed less than a minute to hurriedly dress and rush out of the house. My heart was beating like a firing machine gun. The wind carried the cold, resinous smell of coniferous trees from the forest, maybe? Freezing air crackled somewhere in the field. Two shadows loomed in front of the gate. I could only recognize them as my sister and the fox girl because of their height. I ran towards the fence, listening to the howling wind and the squeaking snow. One of the figures moved and slowly glided towards the thicket like an ice skater. I slowed down and touched my glasses, trying in vain to adjust my vision to the surrounding darkness. Worry landed on my shoulders like a weightless snowflake. A snake woke up in my belly and started writhing. I felt nauseous. I thought about my home, the flimsy fortress I'd left behind. I finally caught up to my sister, dressed only in a coat.
Оля!
Olya,
Ты видел лисичку?
have you seen the foxy?
Оля, зачем ты вышла на улицу?
Olya, why did you go outside?
Если мама
If mom
узнает...
finds out... My sister froze in place, facing the tiger. She was in a hand's reach, and I put my numb wrist under her shoulders for some reason, probably to make sure it wasn't a dream. A pointy beak was directed at me, strewn with feathers that formed an owl face. Something wearing a bird mask was staring at me.
Ого, не узнает.
Hoot hoot, she won't. The voice sounded exactly like Olya's, but there was somebody else hiding behind the feathers and the curtain. I sprinted away as if I got whipped. The masked creature only pretended to be Olya, just to lure me out. I was running like crazy, drowning in snow. The house in front of me was rapidly growing. The yellow lights in its windows granted me hope. My mom and sister are there, my salvation. I couldn't hear anything from behind me, as if nobody was chasing me. Maybe it's because the owls can fly. I was already climbing the porch when I noticed another figure. From the soothed black shadow of my house, a crafty wolf cub crawled out and stood in my way. Its movements were jerky, chaotic, as if it was performing some terrifying dance, or convulsing during a stroke. And even though I could clearly see that the wolf's face was a mask, something in this werewolf's convulsions made me freeze in place. The boy in a wolf's costume rubbed his side against the porch post and fell to his knees. He bent his back so hard that I expected his spine to crack. The beast's eyes shone, but he didn't attack. He kept crawling around and running on all fours. I shifted my feet, my mouth agape, trying to keep him in my line of sight. Something was trickling from the slit in the mask. Vicious drops fell to the wooden planks. Saliva. Some unknown force pushed me in the back, whispering me to save myself. The fence was flashing at the edge of my vision. I was running in another direction this time, towards the toothy edge of the forest that smelled of pine. My heartbeat measured time. The wolf boy growled behind my back as if he forgot his human nature. My right leg got stuck in the snow-laden cavity. I yanked it out, cursing under my breath, and fell to the ground. Plastering snow prevented me from standing up, from propping myself against anything. But my unbound thirst for life helped me get out of that trap. Darkness was creeping closer, like the toxic fumes of burial pyres. I ran again, gasping for air that stung my throat. My hair swayed in the wind. I lost my head when I fell down, and my ears were now hot from the freezing cold, while most of my body was still sweaty. The field finally ended. After realizing that running into the forest wasn't the smartest decision I could make, I dove into the line of trees. I ran without stopping, my face covered with one of my palms. I didn't want to lose an eye to some random branch. Branches whipped my clothes, prickled my skin like butchers that were herding a pig into the grinder. A knot of roots sprouting from the ground grabbed at my foot. I rammed into the scratchy trunk, slid down to its base, and looked around in panic.
Ух, какой ты быстрый!
Phew, you're so fast. My first desire was to dash towards her and hug her. I resisted it and squeezed myself even tighter into the pine.
Ты... Что ты здесь
You,
делаешь?
what are you doing here?
Да вот,
This and that. She was holding the hat I lost.
в бюро находок подрабатываю.
Working part-time in Lost and Found.
Надевай, а то
Put
уши
it on or
замерзнут,
your
а
ears will
потом
freeze
глядишь,
and maybe
и
even
вовсе
fall off
отвалятся.
soon. She giggled. I squinted in suspicion and shifted my gaze back and forth between her and the hat, scared that Elisa might be holding a severed head or something even more sinister. But in the end, my hat turned out to be just my hat. Nothing else we can do. Oh, a little. But with this, maybe a ghost orb. And the shining stars. Okay, let's take the hat. I took it and pulled it over my forehead.
Тепло?
Feeling warmer. I didn't reply.
Там во дворе были какие-то дети.
There were some children in the yard.
И что?
And?
Покусали тебя, что ли?
Did they bite you or something?
Нет.
No.
А чего же ты убежал?
Then why did you run away? The answer was obvious, but after rolling the thought off my tongue, I mumbled,
Не знаю.
I don't know.
Обещала не обзывать тебя дурачком.
Why did I promise to never call you a dunce again?
А я обещала.
Oh well, I
исполняй.
keep my promises. She walked up to me and grabbed me by the elbow. I sensed the familiar aroma of mint, oranges, and burnt sparklers. I wanted to lean into Alice, to savor the minute's details of her smell.
Сколько можно повторять? Со мной
How many
ты в
times do I need to tell
безопасности.
you? You're safe as long as you're with me.
Я твой друг.
I'm your friend.
И они.
And they are too. I quickly turned around towards the place the fox girl was pointing to. Kids in masks appeared at the clearing. At least they looked like kids, since they were all pretty short. And a wolf boy, an owl girl, and a bear boy. They all huffled and gasped for air, clearly tired from running around. I thought you fell through the snow. Started digging around, but I couldn't find you. Is this Simeon? I have a feeling this is Simeon. And I didn't care enough. You see, if you're dumb, you run around and dig. And if you're smart, you wait until the others get tired of running around and digging. Then you start talking.
Как я рад!
You're a rat.
Дегенерат!
Degenerate.
А?
Huh?
Не обращай внимания.
Don't
Он со
mind him.
странностями.
He's a weirdo. I stood there stupefied, my mouth agape and my hands dangling helplessly. I had no idea how to react to the words of these late-night guests, but I managed to squeeze out something resembling a smile.
Вы просто меня напугали.
You just scared me, that's all. They started looking at each other and somebody even snorted, as if I said something funny.
Да, да, лиса права!
Yes, the fox is right.
Это он.
He's the one.
Нет, это наш!
No, this is our. Have we finally found him?
Нажай.
Our bunny. Yes, he looked just the part. The wolf boy started wagging a part of his costume like it was his tail in excitement. First!
Ну, конечно, ты первый!
Of course, you were first.
Это волчик раньше всех почуял зайчика в тебе.
Wolfie here was the
Рассказал нам.
first to sense the bunny in you. He told us about you.
Здравствуй.
Hello.
С нашей совушкой ты знаком не понаслышке. Не такая уж она и
And you
страшная,
already met our Hootie before. She isn't that scary, is she?
Да, наверное.
I guess.
А этот улыбчивый бугай — медвежутка.
And this smiling big guy is Teddy.
Ты лучше с ним поласкавее.
Be mindful with him or he will chew off your head.
Зачем это?
What?
Да, смотрю, ты и
I
чувство
see
юмора
you've also
сообразил.
dropped your sense of humor somewhere on the way here. I was still unsure if these peculiar little animals had the best intention in mind, so I hid my hands behind my back, trying to look away from the gaping holes in their carnival masks. Elisa put her hands to her side in a theatrical manner and somehow managed to wink with her fox face.
Когда в следующий раз придем, будем звенеть в колокольчик.
The next time we
чтобы
come,
ты не
we'll
так
ring
боялся
bells
нашего
for you.
визита.
That way you'll be less scared of our visit.
У нас разве есть
Or do we
колокольчик?
even have any bells?
Чур, я звенить не буду.
I won't be ringing.
У меня
My
лапка
paw
болит.
hurts. My smile was no longer fake.
О, зубы показал.
Ah,
Это
you showed us your
добрый знак.
teeth. What a good sign.
Не ожидала, что сможем тебя
I didn't expect
рассмешить.
you to find us fun.
Я думала, это под силу только Диснейленду.
I thought it was an emotion reserved strictly to Disneyland.
Откуда ты знаешь?
How do you know that? Because it's Paulina.
Да так, прочитала кое-где.
I read about it somewhere.
Про меня?
You read about me.
Про клюв от воробья. Про
Aren't you
Диснейленд.
funny? No, about Disneyland, darling.
Ты умеешь
You can
читать?
read, human.
Зря я, что ли, в школу хожу?
Do you
день
think
ото дня?
I've been going to school every day for nothing? Aha. And then she sang in a coquettish voice.
Как детей не замечать, как мечты их развенчать. Учат в школе, учат в школе, учат в школе. Крепко-накрепко
I let out a
говорить,
cautious
деток
laugh.
славненьких чморить. Учат в школе, учат в школе, учат
My
в
new
школе.
acquaintances didn't seem scary anymore. On the contrary, they looked friendly and welcoming. There was something about them that attracted me. Just like this clearing, this moon, and the snowflakes that fell backwards from the ground to the sky as if someone was rewinding a tape. The masked kids got close, and I felt their touch. They gave me friendly taps, felt my clothes, as if checking whether I was real. There was no animalistic malice in their touch, only pure childish curiosity. For some reason, I thought to myself, I can trust them. Snowflakes just kept on floating upwards.
Никто тебя
Nobody will hurt you anymore. Rent!
Пусть только попробуй.
if someone even tries to. The fox gave me a slight tuck and burst out laughing.
Ну что, Тоша, убежишь с воплями? Или с нами
Well then,
пойдёшь?
Tasha, will you run away screaming or come with us?
Куда?
Where to?
На аттракционы!
Ha ha ha, to the amusement park. At that moment, Tiger's deceptive silence was broken by the sound of a distant flute. Mesmerizing and alluring, it brought about the ring of crystal glass and the whispers of a fresh winter spring. If I had any doubts before, the flute's song shattered the last of them. I started following my new friends before I could even make my decision. My legs carried me off their own will, and the tunnels made of pines stepped apart. Bushes bowed in front of our procession. Everything looked dreamlike. Because even the clearing we ended up on, I only saw in my dream. The flute soared up in the treetops, like some fantastical bird. The snowflakes floated up in a spiral. The moon painted tree branches with silver. Elisa gasped in amazement. I was also in awe. I tilted my head backwards as far as I could.
О, красиво.
Oh, that's what a sight!
Очень красиво.
It's so beautiful. Wolfie howled in agreement.
Это мелочи.
This is nothing.
Я покажу гораздо
I can
больше,
show you much more
если захочешь.
if you want. I did want. I wanted to see what the fox girl saw with her eyes hidden in the semi-dark of her cape. Now I didn't feel weird about these masked kids. I felt weird for being the only one without a mask. I felt like I was naked in the January winds.
Скажите, а зачем вам маски?
Why do you wear these masks? I was trembling, but I wasn't scared. My trembling wasn't caused by the cold. It originated from the peculiar anxiousness, the anticipation of something amazing.
А тебе зачем?
And why do you ask? I touched my cold cheek.
Но я без маски.
I'm not wearing one.
Обожаю человеческие
Ha ha ha, I love human tails.
Человеческие ласки.
Human nails?
Человеческие дряжки.
fails?
Я же говорила,
I've already told you.
все жители
All the
поселка
villagers
носят
wear
маски.
masks.
Только скрывается за
It
ними.
just...
Отнюдь
You
не
won't
люди.
find anything human underneath them.
И даже я?
Even me.
Ты такой рассеянный,
You're so
Антон.
clumsy, Anton.
Однажды
We've already found your glasses once already.
И шапку.
And your hat.
И твою
And
настоящее
your
лицо.
real face. I looked at the mask the fox was holding out to me. The bunny mask that looked like a silver ingot under the moonlight. I was curious to see the world through its slits. Suddenly, fighting its way through the flute's melody, a thought came to me. The glasses they found were in Simeon's possession. My new acquaintances must have known what happened to him. Or even worse.
А куда подевался Семен? Что с ним стало?
And where did Simeon disappear to? What happened to him?
И с остальными детьми?
And the other children? Whoops. I went too far. Where is the, Oh well. The wolf boy curled into a ball and the fox lowered the pointy nose of her mask.
тот, кого держали в клетке.
The one who was kept in a cage.
Тот, кто режет.
The one who cuts into little pieces.
Тот, кто носит кожу.
The one who wears a skin face took them.
Умел бы я креститься.
If I knew how to cross myself, I'd do it.
Хотите сказать, это был
So you're
человек?
saying it was a human?
Чем ты только
Were you
слушал?
even listening to us?
Разве можно назвать такого,
How
как
can you
он?
call someone like him human?
Одно слово.
Oh,
Взрослый.
there's just one word for him. An adult.
В мире взрослых.
Oh, it's easy to get lost in the adult world.
Убийцы.
Killers,
жестокие
cruel
дрессировщики
animal trainers, and
и
cold
равнодушные
parents.
родители. Лучше об этом вовсе не думать. чтобы
Ah,
не
if you
грустить.
don't want to get sad, better not to think about them.
Не знаю, как вам, а мне печалиться
I don't know
совсем не
about
хочется.
you, but I definitely don't want to be sad.
И я сегодня какой-то не грустный.
Somehow, I am also not sad today.
Антон, а ты?
What about you, Anton?
А?
Huh? I was lost in thought, staring at the pines, trying to pinpoint the location of the flute. I was sure that the person who played it was standing right behind the piney stockade. Someone tall, going over the holes in the flute with their long fingers.
Так что, сядем тосковать?
What
Займемся
now? Are we
отдыхом?
gonna sit and be sad or have some fun?
Алиса хотела что-то
Alisa
показать.
wanted to show me something.
Давай начнем с
Let's
самой
start
сладкой
with the
части
sweet
программы.
stuff. The fox girl took out a handful of candy from her pocket and handed them to each of the kids. Covers shuffled. The smell of pineapple, cocoa, and melon wafted through the air. The last treat, a chocolate-covered waffle candy, Alicia put right into my mouth. My tongue was engulfed in spiciness. I felt like my body was covered in fur and small sparks were running along it. I chewed on the waffle and the chocolate, gulped them down and enjoying the vivid taste.
Спасибо.
Thanks. My gratitude was barely audible because my lips were already touching the inside of a mask. I didn't even notice how I put it against my face. The papier-mâché was warm, the mask stuck to my skin, giving it a nice prickle. The kind when you dive into a hot bath after being outside in winter, when you lie there and purr from the soapy water.
Говорила же! Это
See,
твоё!
I told you this is yours.
Моё.
Mine.
Чего стоим?
Oh,
За нас
what are
веселить
we
никто не
waiting
будет.
for? The fun won't have itself.
The melody kept swirling in the field like a hurricane. I couldn't wait to release the energy, that heat that this enchanting music was filling me with. The owl jumped and disappeared into the sky. I heard her laughter from somewhere above, and then she landed back, huffing and sighing.
И ты так можешь. Попробуй.
You can do it too, give it a try. I followed suit. My feet tore off from the ground. I flew towards the stars like a rocket and screamed from happiness after seeing my friends down below. The wind helped me fly. It felt like I was jumping on a huge trampoline. The stars looked like vivid sparkles that I could reach and lick up. The moon also got closer, and then I plunged. I got scared that I'd break my legs for a moment, but my soles landed softly on the ground and I regained my balance.
С нами ты в безопасности.
You're safe with us,
И все твои мечты станут явью.
and all your dreams will come true.
Я так счастлива наконец обрести тебя.
I'm so happy that I finally found you,
Зайчик.
Bunny. In a fit of merry laughter, I realized the most important thing. These four are not a threat. My real enemies, and I felt that with every single hair on my mask, were those who knew nothing about magic. Humans from the village. I also realized how alive my surroundings have become. I heard the dry grass under the snow moan. I saw faces of the trees and the stars. The trees were smirking and the stars were grimacing in fear. That's right. Be scared. I'll jump up to you and... I snapped my teeth, then let out a jubilant laugh, jumping up along with the fox. We flew higher than the tallest pines and stayed in the air. I swirled. Alicia followed my rhythm. I knew that she was smiling, so I smiled too. And the flute just kept on playing, carrying us higher and higher.
Эй, тебя что, заколдовали?
Hey, did someone put a spell on you? That someone is standing next to me, I thought, trying to unglue my chin from the desk. My muscles felt slightly sore, but that feeling was pleasant. The whole class was wandering about for some reason, whispering and passing notes to each other. Their faces looked like discolored masks to me, bleak and boring. I yawned, remembering the time I was soaring high above the forest with Alicia by my side, laughing and squeezing my hand. Perhaps no. Probably it was all just a dream. Because I didn't walk back from the forest, just woke up in my bed on a normal morning with tea and medicine. Still, I was hardly worried about trying to find a rational explanation for my night dance. That feeling of flight was much more important. The knowledge of how it feels to be hanging in the air above the treetops of majestic pines and baring my teeth at the moon.
Прости, задумался.
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
Слышал уже про Катю?
Have you heard about Katya?
А?
Huh? I glanced at the empty seat in front of me.
Катя пропала.
Katya went missing. My sleepiness was gone in an instant. I frowned in suspicion.
Как пропала?
What do you mean? It can't be. Episode 4, Stomp Your Hooves in Wait. Okay, I thought we were gonna be just about done by now, but it seems like we are not. So I think I do have to make another episode of this, and maybe that one will be the last. I don't know. All I know is that I'm running out of time because Spooky Month is almost over, and I want to get these games finished before Spooky Month ends. So, yeah. Oh well, that will have to wait until the next episode, because for now, thank you so much for watching, not waiting. And until that next time, bye!